If it were all written, there would be no point of doing anything. Why bother sending your kids to school? If their destiny is written, who cares if they get an education? Why bother? And yet, every single wise person from every sector of life has given us ways of improving our lives. Karma, as I explain all the time, the word actually means an action. That's what the word means. Karma means action. And spiritually, we believe pretty much the same thing that Newtonian physics tells us, which is that every action has a reaction, right? We all learn this in, 7th grade science. Every action is going to have a reaction. Now, in karma of life, it's not quite exactly the same as in physics, but it's similar. You give pain, you will receive pain. You give goodness, you will receive goodness. You do things that are selfless, you will receive what we speak of as punya, merits, plus points, gold stars from the universe. You do things that are wrong, bad. We don't believe in that evil, but just that are out of ignorance. And in that ignorance, you've acted selfishly, or with lust or greed or ego or arrogance or anger. And you've brought suffering to others. That is what we call pap, sin. So in that sin, you're going to get suffering. Simple. However, there's 3 different types of karma. That which is long-term karma, so I do it now, and I'm going to see the fruits like years and years and years and years and years from now, maybe even in my next birth. Then you've got your short-term karma. I take this glass of water, I throw it in your face, you yell at me, or you slap me, or you throw a glass of water in my face, or whatever it may be. Immediate reaction. I eat food, I feel full, or I feel sick, depending on what I've eaten. Immediate. Then we have the karma that is blossoming today that I planted in my past. That's the only stuff that I have no control over. Okay? 3 types of karma. Only one type does not respond to free will. I cannot rewind life. I cannot not have murdered somebody 2 lifetimes ago. But the other 2 types are what I'm doing right now. I have full agency and autonomy and power over them. As anybody who has ever tried to overcome a bad habit, a bad tendency, an addiction knows, we have free will in the moment. I can make a different decision now than I made yesterday. I cannot change yesterday's decision, but I have agency today. Yesterday I came home, I got drunk, I beat my wife. Today, I had an awareness. Maybe I went to the doctor and they told me I was dying of liver disease. Or maybe I went to see a spiritual leader who told me that if I don't stop doing that, I'm going to, come back as an earthworm in my next birth. So whatever the factor is that has made me change. Maybe I read a chapter in the Bhagavad Gita. Something inspired me. Today I go home throw out all my alcohol, take my wife out for a beautiful romantic dinner. Just because yesterday I got drunk and beat her doesn't mean I have to do it today. I have full autonomy. Now, I'm not free of the karmic repercussions from what I did yesterday. Me making a different choice today doesn't wipe my slate clean. It's going to probably take me a while to regain her trust, to regain her love, to reestablish a new relationship. Inevitably in the future, I'm going to experience some kind of suffering and pain because of what I have done to her in the past. But from today, I can change my immediate karma, and I can change the long-term karma that I am creating for today, from today. So free will is very powerful. But there are some things that are arising in my life today that I don't have control over because they're what I did in the past. But if you look at any religious tradition, not just today, but from the beginning of time, any philosophical tradition, anybody teaching you anything, from someone, from a nutritionist, or a doctor who tells you you better exercise or quit smoking or change your diet, to a trainer at the gym who gets you running on the treadmill, to a philosopher who shows you new ways of thinking about your life and yourself, to religion that tells us about prayer, about pilgrimage, about meditation, about chanting, about service. Every single one of these things is predicated upon the idea that we have free agency. If it were all written, there would be no point of doing anything. Why bother sending your kids to school? If their destiny is written, who cares if they get an education? Why bother? Let them sit at home and play in the dirt all day, right? If it's already written, why bother? Why wear a seatbelt? Why get insurance? Why eat healthily? Why do anything? And yet, every single wise person from every sector of life, from every nation, every religion, every aspect of history today, from the beginning of time, has given us ways of improving our lives, physically, mentally, spiritually, interpersonally, career-wise, economically. If none of it made any difference at all, surely over the last millions of years, someone would have noticed, and we would have stopped spending our lives doing things that didn't make a difference. We know they make a difference. You watch people who eat well, who exercise, who take care of themselves. They're healthier. They live longer. We know this. Not genetics, not necessarily based on what their family did. We see this. We know that meditation changes our brain. We've got all the science that shows us how meditation changes our brain. A choice I make today gives me different physical brain matter tomorrow, and therefore different connections, different brain activity. So, lots of evidence. Definitely you have free will. Use it. Use it to make the right choices, the healthy choices, on every level for yourself.